Marxism is alive and well in America, as you no doubt know. They call it redistribution. They call it paying your fair share. Social justice, economic justice. Just throw the word justice on anything, and all of a sudden it's supposed to sound so much better, right? But guess what? People are recognizing these Democrats can't suspend the laws of economics, and in fact, many of their decisions, because of economic realities, are making your life harder, more expensive, more annoying, more difficult. Yeah, that's what's actually going on here. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren is tweeting out, families are rightly upset that the price of meat has gone through the roof. Who's to blame? Meat packing monopolies that are using inflation as cover to raise prices and make record profits. I'm fighting for stronger antitrust efforts to against enforcement, stronger antitrust enforcement to lower prices. Okay, folks, hold on a second here. Wait, price gouging? Inflation's all over the place, but the meat packers are now the vulture capitalists, I guess. It's not just Elizabeth Warren, formerly known under the Trump administration by President Trump as Pocahontas. It's not just her who's making this case right now. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki saying, oh yeah, the increase in meat prices, it's because of the greedy meat conglomerates. Watch.
I think that the president thinks the way people across the country, American families, digest inflation is by price increases. And if you look at industry to industry, it's a little different. So, for example, the president, the Secretary of Agriculture have both spoken to what we've seen as the greed of meat conglomerates. That is an area where people go to the grocery store and they're trying to buy a pound of meat, 2 pounds of meat, 10 pounds of meat. The prices are higher. That is, in his view, and the view of our Secretary of Agriculture, because of, you could call it corporate greed, sure. You could call it jacking up prices during a pandemic.
Jacking up prices during a pandemic. It's always something. You notice someone else's fault with this administration. Someone else's fault. Yeah, it's not that spending trillions of dollars, adding unnecessary burdensome regulation, constantly talking about the prospect of higher taxes, raising the corporate tax rate down the line if you can, all that stuff. That has no effect whatever. It's just corporate greed. Okay. Now, this is pretty clearly messaging that has made its way all through this government of economic ignoramuses and buffoons. And if you're looking for the economic buffoon in chief, you got him, Joe Biden. He wants Congress to hold hearings on the food manufacturers.
With regard to the cost of food for everyday, that's another big area. People walk in the grocery store, particularly meat, poultry, and that's where the prices are up a lot. And there's a couple things going on there. Number one, as you well know, over the last several years, a lot of the big operators come in and bought out the small producers and bought out the small the small guys who are moving it from the farm onto your table, and so, for example, Tyson this last quarter made, I think, a little over $1 billion more in profit than before because they're able to raise prices. There's so few people to compete with. I'm urging the Congress to hold hearings as to the concentration of power in a few hands controlling the food processing side of the equation.
What?